It is SportsCenter. Shea Cornett, Amina Smith here with you for the next hour. Duke, Alabama, Texas Tech, and Florida move on, but there's still 4 more spots to fill tonight. Seth Greenberg is here to tell us who rounds out the Elite 8.
Got 8 to go on the men's side, a Sweet 16 in the women's bracket tonight, including a rivalry between Duke and North Carolina, plus how 2 number 1s in UCLA and South Carolina can avoid an upset.
And speaking of number 1s, maybe Penn State's pro day goes without Abdul Carter working out, but he is talking what Carter is saying about his plans now. We're live in State College.
And the Lakers are not feeling giddy after last night. The one word Redick said about their latest loss that might be the most insightful.
But we begin with breaking news here on SportsCenter. The Grizzlies announced today that they have fired head coach Taylor Jenkins. The move comes after Memphis wrapped up a road trip that saw them drop 4 of 5 games. A first-time head coach, Jenkins was hired in 2019 and has made the playoffs in all but 2 seasons. The Grizzlies are 5th in the West behind the Lakers, who they host tomorrow night in Memphis. The Grizzlies were 36-18 prior to the All-Star break this season, second best in the Western Conference and tied for 4th in the NBA. They're 8-11 since the All-Star break and 21st in the league. We bring in our senior NBA insider, Shams Charania. And Shams, 9 games left before the playoffs. Why are the Grizzlies rocking the boat right now?
Amina, this is stunning. And Taylor Jenkins, he immediately moves to the top of the list as far as head coaching candidates in this upcoming cycle. He's going to have teams calling for him pretty quick here in the coming weeks as teams look for the future. But the Grizzlies just feel they have declined and they've plateaued here in the second half of the season. And their stats in terms of facing teams that are over 500 has not been great. They have lost 9 straight games against teams with an over 500 record by an almost average of 13 points. They're 20th in defensive efficiency in the second half of the season. They were 7th in the first half. And my understanding, sources tell me that they just believe that Taylor Jenkins had lost that locker room and that they had to make a change to mitigate potentially what could have been an even worse finish to the season in their eyes. But this is obviously a shock to the NBA and a shock around the Grizzlies in Memphis. This is a coach who has a franchise record 250 wins. He had a winning percentage of almost 54% as head coach of the Grizzlies.
Yeah, just trying to make sense of it all with the Grizzlies being 5th in the West and still making a playoff push right now. Maybe it doesn't seem like the right time. But Shams, with all that insight, thanks so much, Shams. Here on SportsCenter, the Grizzlies fired head coach Taylor Jenkins today. Since taking over in 2019, Jenkins has posted a .539 winning percentage and made the playoffs in all but 2 seasons. The Grizzlies are 5th in the West with 8 of their 9 remaining games against teams in the playoff race, starting with the Lakers tomorrow night.
Senior NBA writer Brian Windhorst joins us now. And Wendy, I got to be honest, the timing of this feels very puzzling. So maybe you can give us some insight. What went into the decision to fire Taylor Jenkins today?
Yeah, puzzling is a way to say it. It's a pretty fascinating move because of the timing. Not only are they right at the end of the regular season, Shea, they've got a massive game against the Lakers tomorrow that could really determine the seeding. From what I understand, yes, the Grizzlies front office was upset with the way the team had been playing recently. They've lost 5 out of 7, but Ja Morant's missed all those games with a hamstring strain. This is really a philosophical move. The way that Zach Kleiman, their general manager, and some of the assistant coaches that were brought in with Taylor Jenkins this year, Taylor Jenkins didn't hire his staff. They brought in new assistant coaches. The way they want to play, he'd been going away from it. And what I mean by that, they want to play sort of a diplomatic offense where there's no plays, there's just straight movement. And as they've been struggling, Taylor Jenkins has gone back to a more traditional offense where they would play pick and roll. And that's just a butting of the heads. Now, the coach that is going to be named interim coach, Tumas Izalo, he is Finnish. He ran a very inventive offense last year in Paris where he led a team to the French league title. The year before, he led a team in Germany to a title there. This is the type of innovative offense they want to run. They also have an assistant coach that they hired, Noah LaRoche, who's instituted this offense. And it kind of moves away from the way Taylor Jenkins has always coached and, frankly, what Ja Morant has played. And so as you see a team struggling like they have after the All-Star break, you do write down Taylor Jenkins' name and say if they have an early exit from the playoffs, there could be a move there because there's obviously a philosophical friction in the organization. But for it to happen now, with this late in the season, really is a move to try to, I think, the Grizzlies front office save the season. So this is a gamble, and frankly, it's very interesting. And since I have no skin in the game, Shay, I got my popcorn. I want to see how it turns out.
I mean, you and me both, but I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, the 5 seed, and you don't have your best player. Also, Jaren Jackson hasn't played. It's all a little bit puzzling. We will continue to stay with that word. As you said, though, Wendy, the Grizzlies do face the Lakers tomorrow night. And what a span for the Lakers it has been in the last 48 hours. They have elation in Indianapolis and then a devastating loss in Chicago. Los Angeles 4-8 since their 8-game win streak. Why is this team, though, trending truly in the wrong direction?
Because they're just not defending. And I know that the memories from this week are going to be the LeBron tip-in and Josh Giddey tossing in a 50-footer. And they should be. Those are amazing moments in the NBA season. But it was really what happened in the fourth quarters of these two games that tells the story for the Lakers. Wednesday night in Indiana, the Lakers give up 57% shooting in the fourth quarter. They let the Pacers make 5 out of 10 threes. They won that game. They got bailed out, but they should have lost it because their defense down the stretch was so poor. And then last night, obviously, the Giddey play and the threes leading up to that, Kobe White with the big three, Patrick Williams, obviously that's going to be the headline. But the Lakers allowed 78% shooting by the Bulls in the fourth quarter. They allowed 44 points, 11 of 14 on threes. Even if Giddey misses that shot, you still got problems defensively. And the bottom line is this. The way the Lakers are structured, the way that they're going to be successful defensively is to play with high effort. And they've been playing so many games, I'm not sure that they have the energy. We'll see if the postseason they may be able to sustain a little bit more, but they're losing ground in the standings having to deal with this.
Okay, also, just to add to all of this for the Lakers side of things, LeBron has been shooting not well at all from three-point range, 9 of 43 from beyond the arc. All right, on the flip side, the Bulls, let's talk about it, surging over the course of the last month, 9-4 since March 1st. Please tell me, my ears are open. Why have the Bulls been so good?
Okay, we should not overreact to a team going on a streak in March, but you know what? It's been a rough couple of years for the Bulls. Let's give them some spring flowers. They are 9-2. A couple of things have been happening. One, Kobe White is playing the best stretch of basketball of his career. He was Eastern Conference Player of the Week last week. He has a huge fourth quarter last night, hits 4 threes in the fourth and has 4 assists. He's been driving their offense. And then since they traded Zach LaVine and then Lonzo Ball went down with a wrist injury, they've just given a lot more time to Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey, during this 11 games, is almost averaging a triple-double. He's shooting the ball great, and of course he has that amazing moment from half court last night, but it was part of an overall another great game from him. Those two guys, plus the teams behind the Bulls are all tanking. So they've had some easier games, but they just went on a great West Coast trip where they went 4-2. So they are now in great position to have a home game in the first play-in round. And look, you never know what can happen if you catch fire at the right time.
I like it. Say it louder for the people in the back. Giddey recorded his 5th triple-double as a Bull last night, 2nd most in a season behind only, and this is fun when you play for the Bulls, behind only Michael Jordan in franchise history. Giddy up, as we're going to say in Chicago.